Hello all, welcome to Ambari Cloud YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to present Iceberg 1.11 changes with respect to branching. So we use branch concept for various reasons, like for QA testing, for ETL load. That means we can create a branch and load the data, audit it, and once it's successful, then we want to publish it. So basically, we are doing all our ETL work in isolation. But with 1.11 release, 1.11 release, before we do publish to the branch to the main, we can compact the data files. So we can implement all our sort algorithms or and compaction, whatever we would like to do on the data files, the new data files or existing data files for that branch, and then we can publish it. So that way we will have a cleaner version of data files with the main table, and then we don't have to run the compaction on the main table when people are or applications running queries. So instead of write, audit, publish, we have a compact part of the branch. So it is optional, of course, but write, audit, compact, and publish. So I'm going to walk through the demo in this video. Okay. So historically, what we do is when you run ETL, you take a backup and then you publish in a email list to all the users. Okay, hey, we are running the ETL. Don't run any reports on existing table because we are loading new data, modifying data. So we'll do that, and then we run the ETL and we'll commit it. Then data will be loaded, and then we will announce that okay, we have a full data is available. So everybody happy. But what if it fail, right? Then we need to restore. So it takes time, and we have to inform the students, or sorry, we have to inform the end users. Hey, the ETL failed. We are restoring back. If anybody executed any reports, they have to rerun the reports. So that's historically happening. But web concept, right, which is data as code in Iceberg. So we don't have to make the changes to your data directly on the main table. So what we'll do is we'll create a branch, we write data, and we audit it. And once audited, then we'll publish. While we're publishing, we can also tag it saying that, okay, this is data loaded from XYZ source on particular day, or this is a quarterly update, so whichever we want to do a tag. So this is what we have today in previous 1.1 release. But in 1.11 release, basically 1.11 release, before we publish the data, we can also compact the data files based on your requirements. You can implement your sort or the sorting, whichever. So that way we will have a cleaner data files attached to the main table. Okay, so basically don't run ETLs, run wraps. Same here. While writing data, auditing data, nobody can see it, as we know. And then when we publish the data, everybody can see it. Okay, so what are the 3 steps we will do it? Write data. So we will enable the web enable, and of course we have to create the branch. Then we load the data, and then we audit it, and before publish we're gonna compact. That's what the web implements. So we have a customer data, right? We enable the web, we write the data, audit it. While you're writing data, only your session, your Spark session can see it. That's why I put I symbols here, but no other one can see this data. But they still can see the old existing customer data. Then after that, okay, we're going to do audit it and we're going to publish it and everybody can see it. So, basically you say restore time, cleaner version, and we'll follow Git style. Then if any errors happen in your ETL, you have bad data, then you can just simply drop your branch. Nothing impacted in your production table. You don't have to run the expired. You don't have to roll back. All the stuff is difficult sometimes. So it's easy. So your ETL running in isolation. You save a lot of time, right? You don't have to bother your admins and all the stuff. And then in some of the projects we see a lot of time saving. So So here you have a S3 snapshot. You create a branch and you load it, and then after that, you audit and then you compact it. So that's why it's the same branch, but you compact your data files. Once you've done your compaction, okay, and you do cherry pick, or basically publish it. So then you have a brand new snapshot, and the new data is available as for. Okay, so I'm going to walk through step by step here. So here my configuration. So here I'm setting about my catalog. So I'm going to set a catalog here. Okay, I'm going to okay. So here connected to my Spark, and then I'm using, look at here, 1.110 release, and I'm going to clean up my directory structure here, and I'm going to set up my branch name. And dynamically you can, and then look at my catalog. Okay, and I'm going to drop existing table, and of course I'm going to get into my market namespace, which is nothing but a database here, and I'm going to drop the table if it exists, but just for demo purpose. Show tables right now. I have some other tables, but okay. And I'm going to create a some data, and here, so some taxi data. So here I have 100,000 rows, and then I'm going to create another 200,000 rows for to load. So I'm going to create my Iceberg table here, and then let's look at okay, let's go to the show tables. Yes, I created a new table here, permits table, and look at the properties. I'm using format 2, but yeah, you can also use format 3. And then look at all my data files, all files for my table. And then just look at the properties just one more time. What is my snapshot ID? Okay. And of course, then let's look at my reference table. I don't have a branch yet. We have a main branch, which is main table. And then let's look at the count. Okay, we have 100,000 rows. So what we're going to do is we're going to enable the wrap. Okay, so write wrap enable true, and I'm going to create a branch. Okay, the branch is created. And now let's look at my reference table. I have a branch for the same snapshot ID. Okay, now let's look at my count on my branch. Well, so it's still 100,000 because we just created. Let's verify that with the main. Yes, 100,000. Okay, and I created a temporary table, and my temporary table has 200,000 rows. And then I'm going to insert the 200,000 rows into my branch. Here, look at this one. Now let's look at my branch count. Now 100,000 plus 200,000, 300,000 rows. Now let's look at my main. Still, end user still saying only 100,000 rows here. One more time, let's check the reference because we added new data. So new snapshot ID, right? Branch has new snapshot ID. Now let's look at the files for my branch. Now I have more files. Okay. Now let's look at my original table. Yes, still 100,000, but now I have 300,000. I have more files. So now let's look at my directory structure. Yes, on the directory we have the files. So what we're going to do is now I have more files. I'm going to compact it. I'm going to run under my branch, right? And I'm going to run the file compaction. Okay, rewrite data files. Now look at here. Okay, the table, and I'm going to use the branch name. So I compacted, and then the 18 files to one file. Now let's look at my branch. Yes, we have, the previous files and all the stuff, right? Okay, I'm sorry. This is a branch main. Still have many files. Now, if you look at how many files are in my branch, it's one file. Because here, look at this one. I compacted all 18 files to one file in my branch. Main, because of the time travel, previous snapshot still have these many files. Once my files are ready, right? When I do, then I'm going to do publish, fast forward. Okay, I'm going to merge my branch to main. So basically saying that, okay, I'm going to use, okay, and then I'm going to run. Now let's look at my count on my branch. Yes, my branch still there. Now let's run count on my main table. Yes, now it is, since it is published, right? Then I'm going to drop my branch. Okay. Now let's look at my tables. My main table, I 300,000, and of course I can also. Now look at, I have only one file on the main, right? Or I can also look at in a different way. Okay, I'm going to remove the branch main. Look at my data files here. Only one. So we are extending our web feature. Not only we're doing write audit before publish, but we are also compacting the data files. So implement this strategy if you are migrated to 1.11, 1.11 version, and then it saves a lot of time, cleaner approach. So glad they implemented this compaction before we merge into the main. So any questions, reach out to me.